Alright, I'm gonna talk about Monday's trade. It's basically pretty simple, 10 a.m. PO3, and then I'll talk a little bit about 9:30 Power of 3. So basic shit, right? So Monday, I'm not expecting anything crazy. It's literally just, Monday. I usually don't trade Mondays, but if it's pretty clean, like this was pretty clean. We left equal lows that we were targeting. We knew it was an easy draw on liquidity. And if we target that, like, if it's like that, then I'll trade it. But mostly I don't really trade it. So, we put the fib out from here to here, right? So we got the whole range just fib out. We actually, let me, hold on. So let me actually go replay and go back quick a little bit. But, alright, so accumulation, manipulation, high time frame P3 right here, right? That we're gonna make. So even if this wasn't made, right? How do I trade the 9:30 power of 3? So you see the 30-minute candle opened up right around here, right? So this was the low that got put out right before the move up, right? This was a 30-minute candle. We never really went down, right? So every candle has its own power of 3. So 30-minute candle, 9:30 over here. This is the first manipulation right before 9:30. So we tried taking this one high or low out. We probably made SMT. If we did make SMT, that's even better. So we mark our standard deviation out right here, two and a half reversal, right? So, but you have to add more context to it, right? So you can't just take any single deviation like that. You have to have more confirmation. So in this case, it was if we make SMT, it's better, right? So this um this was the highest high, but I'm looking for a quick power of 3, not like literally, not like I'm not looking for anything crazy, it's just like a 30-minute power of 3, not like a whole can, not like hourly or like anything. So we wait for an SMT over here. If there's SMT, and if and the deviation gets tapped right with an SMT, and then it's also you have to add like you have to look at the candle. So time 30 minutes right here. We haven't made the low, or we kind of did make the low, but 9:30 is always a manipulation, right? So, or in my opinion, not always, but some days mostly like 9:30 to like 9:45 is mostly like the manipulation, and then 10 a.m. is what like matters really. Or sometimes either at 10 at 9:30 to 9:45 around there is usually a manipulation, or it's just like a distribution, and then 10 a.m. just continues, gives you another entry, and then that would be the 10 a.m. PO3, whatever. But I'll talk about that in some other video. But in this case, so I would mark this one out, or I can mark out this as well. So it's the same thing, or I can mark the whole thing, but it's the same thing. But I would personally mark this one out because this is the last we tried taking the low out, so accumulation, manipulation, right? So accumulation, manipulation, or you can use this one too. I mean, this this you can use anything, but for me personally, uh hold on, wait, someone texted me, wait. All right. But for me personally, I would use this one. So right here, right, I would mark this zone out around here. This is my POI. But then you have to add more context to it, right? You can't take every single deviation. Me personally, I'd never do that. So I look for at least a liquidity sweep. Highest high, me like I'm looking for a reversal. It would be this, right? Not highest high, but like just the high would be this. We make an SMT, it's even better. So once we see an SMT, we wait for a rejection block, right, on the 1 minute. So not we didn't really have a rejection block, so you go to the 2 minute. Right here, this would have been your entry for 9:30 PO3. You enter short, stops above here, and then you target 930 low or candle low, or you could just target, these failure swings, whatever, just 50 points, because it's just a 30-minute candle. It's nothing like it's not a whole four. It's not gonna give you like 200 points. Well, I mean it can, but it's not like that every single time. So um yeah, and then if you wanted to use the fib too, you could use the fib from here. For the 931, this is a protected high, so I would use this one. Why is it a protected high? Because I mean, I have a high time frame Peter rate, right? That we're gonna make, so we just rejected off of that, right? So I'm not looking forward to go all the way up there and then move lower. I mean, don't get me wrong, it can happen, but like that's just like a like I don't know. I mean, you just have to like kind of use your intuition, or it's just whatever. But um yeah, so that would use fiddler like that. You could use this high too. This high would be more better of a fill, but yeah, so that would be the 930 PO3 standard deviation liquidity sweep only with SMC. I only take a 930 power of 3 if there's a SMC. If there's no SMC, then I'm not gonna take it. I can't lie. It's not good for me, or it's not good for anyone. So that hit TP. Damn, what was that stutter, bro? But your re-entry, I mean, if you trade fibs, you already know how to trade fibs, right? Re-entry over here, right? OTE, this, this, this low made, this high, right? High to the low, market's moving up, you go do the fib. You could take either 618 or um, fucking 705. And if it's inside of a macro, it's even better because macro always delivers. So 948, whatever. But yeah, that would be the trade one. I didn't take this. I took the 4 hour one. So 4 hour, you already know basic shit. Looking for this high. Wait, let me actually delete everything. Hold on. I got too many lines on my chart, bro. I don't know why. But I'm looking for this high. This is my high time repeater now, right? So I'm looking for this high to get turtle soup. And then if I look on the 5 minute, this is all failure swings, right? So most likely what happens is we're gonna most likely tap into it, wick this out, and then we're gonna have a quick reaction. Every time it happens. And if there's a fib level around here, I'm looking for that. And whatever fib level aligns with this, above equal, it has to be above, like it has to be in a premium because I'm looking for a short, right? Any fib level that's in a premium would be valid. But me personally, I would use the whole range. So this is the range that I would use. And then if you look, we didn't sweep previous days low. Why did we do that? We did that on purpose because we wanted 7 a.m. to tap into it and then go high, go lower. You feel what I'm saying? So if it's something like this, I'm 100% trading Monday. Cause why? Cause I'm confident in it. I'm only gonna trade something I'm confident in. So we go higher, okay, we soup that, and then we move lower. So wait, yeah. So in this case, the fib really didn't work, I guess, or if you use this one, it didn't work. You can use any level you want. This level would have worked. This level would have worked, right? OTE right here. So you just have to align it with your bias. So if this would be the protected high, because why? Because there's a high time for repeater, so you can use any of these highs right here. Those would be good, right? So you can use that, whatever. But me personally, I would use the whole range, just because I want to see like if we're up in a premium or a discount. I'm only gonna short or if I'm above equilibrium, right? That's how I'm pretty sure that's basic. But so this is now we entered the 4 hour. We look for SMT. We don't SMT always makes anything A plus. So we look for SMT and then we enter off of a down close candle. Cause why? Cause if there's a certain type of liquidity we sweep, so if we swept all these failure swings and there's a high time frame Peter rate, and then look we have like a 15 minute, we have a 30 minute, everything right. Look at that 30-minute soup right there. 30-minute. There's always going to be, or not always, but if there's SMT, 90, 80, 90% of the time is going to be a quick reaction. So right here, Boom, you wick it. Now wait for a down close candle, and that's gonna be my entry. And then you can also use, you know, some type of standard deviation. You can use this one right here. This leg looks pretty clean. Right here, -2, right? So, um, reaction right there. That's my entry. And I have clean equal lows as my DOL. That's how I'm gonna target. That's how I'm gonna target. So entry, or you could take a rejection block entry too. I mean, you could leave a limit right here, but I would just take it like this. Target previous is low, and then right there, boom, CP hit. So that was the trade. That's how you trade 10M power of three. You look for the highest, time frame PD raise, and if there's a deviation with it, it's always better. If there's not, doesn't matter. It's still, still probable, still good. And then you use this Asia's deviation for, levels and shit, whatever. High day, low day. -2, 2.5 always gives a reaction. -3, 3.5, right here in this case, that would have been, you can literally do this too. Look, 3, 3.5, 3, bottom tick, 2.5, kind of. 2, bottom tick, 2.5, 2.25, 4, 3.5. That was 3.5 worked too. So yeah, 3.5 gave you like a lot of points. But yeah, that was my trade for Monday. And I'm gonna do more weekly recaps like the whole week. But yeah, and then I'll make a video on how to trade continuations, because this week was like, I don't know, I didn't pri I'm not the type of guy to blame price action, but if price price action is like this, I tend to like blame price action. I can't lie, but I'm not the type of guy. I don't have no excuse. Like, if you just, it is what it is. So we have a bad week. Sometimes we don't. But this week I think I got break even 2 times, and I only hit T or I only traded 4 days. No, yeah, 4 days. I traded 4 days, and I hit break even on 2 trades. And I took, how many trades I took? I think I took 5 trades. I got break even 2 times. I hit TP 3 times. So that was this week, and yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna be making more videos. Um, a video I do want to make is how to trade continuations. Cause I know this week, like 9:30 usually just dump straight up, right? And 10 a.m. gave you an entry, 10 a.m. power of three, or like 9:45 sometimes gave you an entry. So I just want to like make a video about like continuations and like how to trade them and stuff like that. Market dumps like hella. So, but yeah, I'm gonna pretty simple, basic stuff. Basic, I guess this, whatever, 10 amp power of 3, basic, pretty simple. Anyways, yeah, that was the video.